Hello dear students, welcome to the class on contraindications of combined oral contraceptive pills. So there are two types of contraindications. One is absolute contraindication and second is relative contraindication. Let's move on to the absolute contraindications. There are 6 absolute contraindications. The first absolute contraindication being one is thromboembolic events. Thromboembolic disease or coronary disease or cerebrovascular disease. If the patient has any thromboembolic disease or coronary disease or cerebrovascular disease or a history of it, you need to stop the usage of combined oral contraceptives. So it is a absolute contraindications. So whenever the patient in the background, if they have any thromboembolic disease, coronary disease or cerebrovascular disease, you should not prescribe oral contraceptive pills. So what about in case of hypertension? Also in case of hypertension, you need to be cautious while prescribing combined oral contraceptive, because in case of hypertension, especially in case of moderate or severe hypertensive, you need to avoid prescribing combined oral contraceptive pills. And also in case of hyperlipidemia individuals. So what is the reason why you should not use these OC pills in case of thromboembolism or coronary or cerebrovascular diseases? Because the estrogen is a culprit where it is going to increase the blood clotting factors and decrease the antithrombin 3. It will increase the platelet aggregation. So that's why they are contraindicated. So why in case of hypertension is contraindicated? If you give a oral contraceptive pills, it will go into both estrogen as well as progesterone. They will go into stimulate the plasma angiotensinogen system as well as the renin activity will be stimulated. Apart from that, they also increases the aldosterone secretion, which will lead to increase in salt and water retention. So coming to the third contraindication, those patients which are having active liver disease or having any hepatoma or any history of jaundice in the previous pregnancy, because all these things can increase the risk of hepatic malignancies, because they are mainly metabolized in case of liver. Next, coming to the other contraindications, they are contraindicated in case of suspected or overt malignancy of female genital tract or breast carcinoma. Like genital means any cervical, any vaginal carcinoma, you should not give oral contraceptive pills. So any history or any family history, you should be very cautious. In case of porphyria, it's also contraindicated. And also in case of if the patient is impended for any major surgery, there will be increased risk for post-operative thromboembolism. So to avoid this, if the contraceptive pill contains estrogen, you need to stop it 4 weeks before the surgery to avoid risk of post-operative thromboembolism. So these are the 6 absolute contraindications. Next, coming to the relative contraindications for the use of combined oral contraceptive pills. The relative contraindications means with some precaution, as well as if you control these diseases, you can give the oral contraceptive pills in such individuals. So first, relative contraindication in case of diabetes. Second is in case of obesity individual. Third is smoking. Fourth is undiagnosed vaginal bleeding. In case of uterine leiomyoma, where it enlarges if you give again it is due to the estrogenic component. In such case, you can go for progesterone only pill. So in case of mentally ill individuals, mentally challenged individuals, age above 35 years, if they are having any, remember, mild hypertension, moderate and severe hypertension, they are under absolute contraindication. And if the patient has any migraine and any gallbladder disease, all these things come under relative contraindication. Next, moving on to some important drug interaction with respect to oral contraceptives. So you have to remember 2 things. Those are with respect to the enzyme inducers and those drugs which suppress intestinal microflora. So coming to the interaction with enzyme inducers, if you remember some of the microsomal enzyme inducers, if you can name them, example, phenytoin, phenobarbital, rifampin, you have got ritonavir, you have got carbamazepine. Next you have primidone. So these are just an example for enzyme inducers. So these enzyme inducers, what will do is they increases the metabolism, of estrogen as well as progesterone. So thereby they will decrease the concentration of estrogen and progesterone. Thereby it can lead to contraceptive failure. So whenever if a patient on oral contraceptive pills, if she is on rifampin for a anti-tubercular treatment, you need to increase the dose of oral contraceptive, or you can use a alternative contraceptive method. For example, if the individual is treated with rifampin as a part of anti-tubercular regimen, if she is also insists to prevent fertility, prevent pregnancy, so if you prescribe oral contraceptive pills, this will, rifampicin being a enzyme inducer, this will decreases the estrogen as well as progesterone component, thereby it will lead to failure of the pregnancy, failure of contraception. So in such cases what you have to do is you can either increase the estrogen dose or you go for alternative methods. So next, coming to the other drug interaction because of suppression of the intestinal microflora, the drugs like tetracycline, ampicillin, being a broad spectrum antibiotics, these drugs can suppress the intestinal microflora. Thereby what happens, estrogen, it undergoes deconjugation with the help of intestinal microflora enzymes, thereby it goes to the enterohepatic circulation and there will be increase in estrogen concentration in the plasma. So estrogen levels will be maintained in the plasma. So what happens if there is a suppression of intestinal microflora? Deconjugation does not takes place. So what happens to the enterohepatic circulation? There won't be any enterohepatic circulation. So what happens to the estrogen level? Estrogen level falls. Thereby it can lead to failure of contraception. So you need to take care about these two group of drugs while giving oral contraceptives. What are those two group of drugs? Those drugs which can induce the enzyme, those are enzyme inducers, and those drugs which suppresses the intestinal microflora. Thank you.